Hello all, welcome to Austin in the kitchen. So today I was craving for something sweet, so I thought I'll make some caramel custard. But then I thought let me just give a twist to it by adding some cake mixture into it. So we're going to make caramel custard cake. So first let's look at the ingredients for the cake. I'll make the cake and then I'll show you how to proceed from there. So for the cake mix, what you need is 100 grams of all-purpose flour. You need 100 grams of sugar, 100 grams of eggs. You'll need some vanilla essence, some baking powder and some almond essence. You will also need 100 grams of butter. Over here I have a salted one. So let's look at how we're going to make our cake first. Okay, so we'll start off with sugar. So I will be just putting my sugar into the bowl here. To that I will be adding some butter, and we'll just give this a mix. So now to this I'm just going to add in my eggs. So now to this I'll be adding in some vanilla essence. A teaspoon of vanilla essence and 1/4 teaspoon of almond essence. So now to this I'm just going to add in my flour. So I have my sift over here. I'm just going to put in my flour, and to this I'm just going to add my baking powder. So as you can see, our cake mixture is ready. We're not going to mix it too much. So our cake mixture is done. So we'll move on to the ingredients for our caramel custard. Now that my cake mix is done, let's look at the ingredients for the caramel custard. So over here I have around 250 ml of milk. I have 1 full egg and an egg yolk, and I have a cup of sugar and some vanilla essence. So let's go about doing this caramel custard. Okay, so before I start caramelizing my sugar, I'm just going to preheat my oven to around 180 degrees. I've kept a tray of water under my rack. So this is going to be a water bath process where I will place my caramel in the tin of hot water and let it cook. So it's always good to keep it at a low level because you'll build up the heat by the time it's ready to cook. So I'll start with my sugar. So I'll just wait for the pan to get a little warm, and I'll add half of this sugar into the pan. So now to my pan I'm just going to add half the cup of sugar. And we're just going to let this caramelize on slow fire. So as you can see now my caramel is ready. So I am going to just pour this into my pan in which I am going to cook. So I'm just going to keep this aside. And to my pan over here, my next pan, I will be adding my milk, and to this I will be adding my sugar, I've just put around 4 teaspoons of sugar. So you just want the milk to be sweet. We're going to let this bubble for some time. sorry, we're going to let this milk heat for some time on slow fire. So my milk is hot now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to off the gas, and I'm just going to let it cool for a bit, and I'll add in the egg mixture and the vanilla essence. So my milk is cooled down a bit. Now to that I'm just going to add a teaspoon of vanilla essence and just give it a mix. So now I'll show you how I'm going to add my eggs, because we don't want to add the eggs to this hot mixture because the eggs will just cook immediately. So I'm adding the milk little by little to the egg mixture so it doesn't get cooked. Just giving it a mix. This is how it is. And so I'm going to put the balance egg mixture into my bowl here and just give it a quick mix. And now to that I'm just going to add my milk. And just give it a mix. So this is how it looks. Okay, so I've strained my caramel mixture to take out all the egg whites and the balance and all these kind of things, and I'm just going to pour this into my tin. So now this is the interesting part. I've got my cake mixture over here. I'm just going to add it to this caramel mixture. So this is how it looks. So now this will go into the preheating oven. So it took me around 2 hours to bake my cake, and here's what it looks like. So just to let you know, since it's a caramel cake custard, it had to be kept in the fridge for another 3 to 4 hours for the caramel to set. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this over and see how it looks. Just take my dish and I'm just going to So here you go, this is our caramel custard cake. So I have a platter here, a fruit platter, so I'm just going to decorate it with some fruits in it. So we just have some seasonal fruit. So these are just some edible rose petals that I had with me, just to give it a little final touch. Well, that's our caramel custard cake. Now do give it a try and let me know how it's turned out. And if you'd like to see more of this content, please support me by subscribing to my channel and commenting below and pressing that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.